So I just unpacked my room or my suitcases and my boxes and really redid my room a little bit because I just finished a market and it's the last one for quarter 3, I guess. My next one will be in December, so it's kind of like the end of September now, almost October. So I feel like I have so much time to kind of quote unquote chill, quote unquote relax, have a break. But at the same time, I feel like these next 2 months are going to fly by because for my full-time job, I work in like e-commerce. So I just know that Black Friday, Cyber Monday, like holiday is going to take a bulk of my time and I'm not gonna have so much time with my small business as much as I want to. And I feel kind of sad about it because I never wanted like a job that took so much of my time basically. And as much as I love it, I do also love my small business. It's like my baby and I've worked so hard on it for the last 4-ish years that I'm not gonna just let it go. I want it to flourish, I want it to grow, and there's so much that I want to do, but I just don't have the time to do so. And I feel like I've seen so many like other artists or small business owners quit their full-time job to focus on their small business. And I feel like that's always the dream, like work for yourself. But I feel like for me, I don't ever want to do that. I don't think I'm gonna quit my job unless I know that like my small business is making triple, quadruple the times that I'm making from my full-time job. I'm gonna need the confidence that whatever I make from my small business is going to be supporting me like well into my retirement ages. Like I don't think that's gonna happen, to be honest. And I know I'm supposed to be a little bit delusional about this and know that my small business will get there. And I think it will get to a point where like I am well off, but never enough where like I would quit my job for it. I think ideally I would want to get to a point where like I find a full-time job that's not as demanding as this one. I find a job that is gonna allow me to kind of just lollygag a little bit. It's like gonna be my passive income, whereas my small business will be my full-time job. But I would never get to a point where I think I would quit my full-time job because I feel like that kind of happened to me last year where I was laid off from my full-time job and I got to kind of have like a 6-month trial period of what that life would look like. And let's just say, like, as fun as it is, and I wish I was in that era again, I don't think I want to go back there. I feel like the misconception of being a full-time small business owner is that you think you have all the time in the world to do whatever it is for your small business and you would get like a million things done. You'll be a million times more productive. But I feel like that's the exact opposite, at least for me. And maybe if I have had a lot more time to establish a routine for myself to run this small business, then maybe things would have been a little different. But I feel like I was definitely not productive. I feel like I woke up every day wanting to be productive for my small business, but then there was something in my head that was like, oh, you don't have anything else to do. Like, you don't have a full-time job. Like, you can do this later. And that later kept getting pushed over and over again. And maybe I needed to just be a little bit more disciplined in that area. But I think that's what was going on in my head. So I think for me personally, I needed a full-time job and then have this kind of on the side of like, hey, you have a full-time job. You only have like X amount of time to dedicate to your small business. Like, you have to be productive during this period, this weekend, this post 9 to 5 time to work on your small business. So now that I have a full-time job, I feel like my new mindset with my small business and getting tasks done is like I have to immediately do it now during this time block. Otherwise, it's gonna get pushed and I'm never gonna get it done. I feel like for me, that's why I would never like quit my job unless, again, I'm so well off that I can. I feel like it's better for me to have this like chaos in my life and have a million tasks to do than having no tasks and too much time to lollygag. But going back to these next 2 months, I feel like I want to get back into like other art mediums. Like I want to paint, I want to sew maybe. So I haven't painted in months and I feel like I did a lot of that like earlier this year, and I feel like these last few months were just so busy that I haven't been able to, and so I think I am going to do that now that I'm on this so-called break. I have so many things on the queue for me to kind of paint. So I went to Italy a few months ago and we were on the countryside. So I have so many like mountains and like farm areas that I want to paint. So I think I'm gonna do that. Okay, so just kidding. I was going to like do a bunch of just like painting or like fun new art mediums, but I forgot that I actually have like a launch that I want to put out, and it's an exciting one because it's something new, and I think I shared it with you guys in a different video, but I'm like officially preparing for launch now. So it's a bunch of hats. It's like embroidered hats, and it's like always something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to make like t-shirts or hats or whatnot, something you can actually wear more so than like little accessories like keychains and pins that are already on your like backpacks or whatever, but this is something that you can actually wear on a daily basis. So the first one being the like soup dumpling hat. And all of these hats are like embroidered and everything, and I think they're just like so cute. And then of course I had to have like one that's representing my dog. It's the hot dog one, and I have this in a sticker version too, but it's only available if you get like my keychain and mystery bags. So also it's gonna be in a keychain form in that mystery pouch version. I don't really sell it at the moment as is because I love being able to have like the blind box situation going on. I think it's so much fun. But now you can just buy it as a hat. Obviously having the boba version because love boba. And then the last one being lemon tea because I feel like I drank this like all the time as a kid. And I've always like drank this like after a swim or something, and it's always like the most refreshing drink ever. So I think I want to do a fun shoot of me drinking it and also wearing this hat. But I think I might change out of this shirt just because I feel like this hat and the drink itself is like such bright colors, and it's just not going to dwell well with me wearing like basically black. So I'm gonna change out of this before we get ready for the shoot. Okay, so I think this is the shirt that I'm gonna go with. I think it like does well with the color and everything. I feel like usually green and yellow does well, and plus the packaging is green and yellow, so I think it's gonna go well. I'm just like debating if I want to put my hair back or should I just like leave a little bit, but I think I'll play around with it once like I see what it looks like on camera. Okay, so I'm done taking some photos, and now I have a drink to drink afterwards. I wish it was a little bit colder. I just left it out in my room, but I think I might just leave the rest in the fridge or something, and then I can just drink it when it's really hot or something. But yeah, now that we're done shooting, I just have to edit all the photos and videos. I have like somewhat of an idea of like how I want to make the reels, but I feel like I need to like jot everything down and like the concepts that I'm thinking of, because I feel like I have all of this content. I'm just like so bad at like remembering what the idea was, and then I just never end up actually posting it because I forgot what I was gonna do. But also in general too, I feel like I just really wanna like up my game when it comes to social media or like content creation, because I feel like without like a proper plan and like concept written down, I like feel like a lot of my reels, my TikToks are so like mishmashy, and like it's just a bunch of little clips here together and it just doesn't make sense. I wanted to be more of like a storyteller and like have clips in the video that makes sense to what I'm trying to convey. So I feel like that's definitely something that I just want to work on, like dare I say like 2026 plan. But I mean, I could always just start right now and like always list it out. I feel like I tried to do this though, like having an actual content calendar and everything, and that probably went well for like a week, but I just never stuck with it. So there's like a bunch of like content ideas that I have that I just never filmed. Like it just never got executed. So I feel like that's something that I just want to like work on. So if you have like something that motivates you to be consistent with content creating, just like let me know. I feel like I need that kind of push. Because at the end of the day, I do love content creation. I think it's more so that like I have too much on my plate sometimes that I get so tired and then I'm like, I will just film tomorrow, or like I'll do this tomorrow, and then that like just never happens because I keep pushing it off. But I think if I just like really plan things out, when I want to film them and like what actually needs to be filmed, because I think the problem here is like I have those ideas, but I feel like I really just need to like detail out exactly what I need to film, because I feel like on the day that like I'm wanting to film something or like create content or assets for, it just never happens because I'm like, wait, what do I actually have to film again? So I have a list of shots and ideas, like detail to a T of like what I need to shoot, then I think I'll be in a better place. And I know that that's a lot, especially for like a single solo entrepreneur, but that's just gonna be what's gonna get me to the finish line, because I know for myself, like it's not detailed and planned well, it's just never going to be executed. So the hat launched and everything, and now I'm just going to do the rest of the things that are kind of like on my list. I feel like this is like a very random video and it's just like kind of all over the place. But now that I'm not like doing markets for a while, I have like a list of things that I want to do before like I start going back to markets. And one of them is putting together my printer. I feel like I've had this for maybe like a couple of weeks now, and I still haven't like used it. And that's like the base of my business, is like printing things. So I feel like it's like one thing that I just have to get done. And it's like a different type of printer. It's like using, I don't know how to explain it. It's like you just like refill the ink rather than having to buy those cartridges. And so I'm not really sure how to like set this up. The instructions came in like this big ass bag that I don't even know why it came like that, but we're gonna try and figure out how to do it all together. Oh, I think it's because the bag is for if you want to like throw away the printer at some point, but I'm not going to anytime soon. And I don't think I'm gonna keep this bag, but this is, I guess, what it's for. So let's try to figure this out. Oh, okay. I think you're supposed to put the printer on bag actually too, in case like it starts leaking or something. Oh, here's the actual instructions, I think. So we unpacked it, and yeah, it's just said to like fill the tanks somehow, and I'm not exactly sure how to do this, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so after I put the ink inside the printer, it said it needed like 7 minutes to like calibrate or something. And then after that, I just have to do a bunch of those like alignment settings and everything. So printing a bunch of paper to like match certain patterns or whatever. But like, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that and then save you all guys some boredom. And I'll be back to print something actually substantial and what I actually need. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we are ready to print, I feel like I have like a few expectations from this new printer. So one of them being that it has better quality, better color, because for my old printer, I've had that for so long, almost like 5+ years, and I feel like towards the end it just started deteriorating. Like the colors were so bad. Even when I like changed the cartridges and everything, the colors just were like very faint, or they're the wrong color. So I feel like my printer was just breaking down. So that's one thing that I wanted to fix. And then two, I wanted to be faster, because for my old printer it took like a really long, like an obscene long time to print high quality prints. If I wanted something like basic and kind of pixely, I guess, sure, it'll come out like pretty quickly, like a minute, maybe less. But if I wanted something really high quality, something very smooth and not very pixely, it would take like, I'm not even kidding, like 10 minutes probably to print one sheet of paper. And so like when I'm in a time crunch for markets, or it's the holiday season when I have a lot of orders to fulfill, it just is not the best situation to be in. It's just so stressful and like anxiety inducing to like have so many orders, and then it takes forever to like make product, because I tend to like make product as I get them, especially when it comes to like my stickers and print, so that I don't create waste. And so I'm hoping this new printer fixes that. Okay, so I printed out 2 versions, and I honestly was going to film it printing, but it was so quick. Like the first one here printed, it was literally lightning speed. It was probably like a minute. I was about to film it, and then it was already done. And it came out pretty decent, to be honest. I'll have a zoom up here, but like it's like the colors are really good. I will say it's a little bit pixely, because it is the like auto configurations that I did. Like I didn't do anything fancy with it, but then the second one I did is a lot better. It doesn't even feel pixely. and the colors are very vibrant and everything. And that one, it took about like it was a little bit slower, but it was not 10 minutes slower. It was like probably like a minute for it to print out. So I'm super happy about that. And I am so excited to make more stickers. And I think next time I'm gonna be doing like an actual print to see how that does, because I hear like the prints are really good with this printer, so I'm excited to see what it looks like. I just don't have anything handy to like actually print out, but yeah, I'm so happy about how it turned out and I can't wait to make more things.